Hello everyone, I am Ramona J. Smith and I have a story or two for you and a warning. Before we go any further, I want you to think about anybody you know who is thinking of moving to LA or who is currently residing in LA and they're looking for a place to live. This is all about the time that I got scammed and almost got scammed again looking for a place here in Los Angeles. For those of you who don't know, me and my partner moved out to LA from Houston in January of this year, and we started downtown. And downtown was downtown. It was convenient because there were restaurants and stores and things to do, and it was right near the highway. And the place that we were staying was a really nice, it wasn't really a high rise. I think the highest floor was the 12th floor and we were on the 11th floor, but it had all the amenities. It was furnished, utilities included. It was great. But downtown is just full of people who are living a non-traditional lifestyle. Many people are unhoused. It's very dirty. Parking is trash, and I never wanted to live downtown anyways, and I wanted to live in Burbank out the way, but I have to keep in mind that I am almost 40 and my partner is not. He's still young and hip and with it and all cool and stuff like that, but my old self was like, I want to go to the suburbs, honey, because I'm coming from Missouri City, Texas. Yes, I say Houston because most people know what Houston is. Most people think Missouri City is in the state of Missouri, but Missouri City is a suburb of Houston. It's quiet, it's out the way, it's brand new. I wanted to go from that to that. I never wanted to live downtown, but I will admit it was cool, it was hip. We could walk to all the different restaurants. It was nice, it was lively, and it just wasn't for us because one, we have a dog, and the dog, his paws would just be blackened with the street dirt of the unhoused. I don't know how to explain it. There was no place to really walk him. There was no place for him to poop. It was poop all over the place. There would be people doing drugs all over the place. People would just be laid out doing strange things to items on the side of buildings. It was just, it wasn't the vibe as far as living the next couple of months in that area. It just wasn't the vibe. So now we're in Mid-City. I love Mid-City. It's close to everything. It's peaceful. It's amazing. And we want to find another place out in Santa Monica because we kind of want to get a feel of the different areas. I personally think we're going to end up in Glendale, but I'm not God. I don't know. Anywho, we're looking, of course, on different platforms, apartments.com and Zillow and Craigslist and things like that for places to stay. We're looking for something smaller on the less expensive side because the rent at the downtown apartment was $4,000 a month. Yes, you heard right, $4,000 a month, but rent is expensive out here. If you're moving out here, you can expect to at least be paying $2,000 a month for a studio. Okay, just get used to it. The cost of living out here is high. Anywho, we found a small place in Santa Monica, and I found it on Craigslist, and I called the number, and the guy was like, okay, cool, come in and set up a self-guided tour. So we go to the property. I'm not going to name the property, but if you have questions, just send me a message. I don't want to put the property out publicly because it's not their fault, and they're aware that these things are happening. Anywho, we call the number, we schedule the self-guided tour, we go to the place, we type in the number, we get buzzed in, we go view the apartment, we love it. I'm like, cool, let's get it. It's literally less than a 2-minute walk from the beach. It was perfect. It was everything we wanted. It was absolutely perfect. And one red flag that I wasn't aware of is that people who are property owners or leasing agents, they don't do Zelle. So keep that in mind. They do not do Zelle. If somebody's asking you for Zelle and you don't know them personally, it's a scam. It is a scam. Most of these rental properties, management companies, they're going to do credit card, debit card, money order check. but they're not going to do Zelle. So that's the first red flag. If anybody is asking you to send them a deposit, to send them an application fee via Zelle, don't do it. It's a scam. So I sent the deposit after. No, this is for the application fee. He said the application fee was $75, which I thought was a little high. The applications I've seen range from $45 to $55. $75 was a little bit high, but I'm like, whatever. Maybe it's because it's near the beach. I don't know. So I filled out the application. I sent them the $75 via Zelle. The very next day, another red flag, the very next day, he sends me a letter of approval. I'm excited. So, I sent it to the bearded one, my partner. I sent it to him, and I'm like, yeah, we got approved. He was like, did he ask for any pay stubs? Did he ask for any income? Did he ask for any proof of past residency? He was like, this is something ain't right. And I'm like, no, he actually didn't. And usually it takes about 3 to 5 business days for them to check your credit, for them to make sure if they ask for references, make sure everything is up to par, make sure you can actually qualify to get in the apartments. It's never a 24-hour turnaround. But I was so excited. I was overly optimistic, and I'm like, my man is very smart. My man is very intuitive. And when he wasn't excited that we got approved, I was like, okay, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And as soon as he called it out, that's when everything started to fall apart. The dude, I was like, it's giving scam. You didn't check this, you didn't check that. He didn't even ask for a copy of my ID. And I'm like, well, maybe he was going to ask for it later, just being kind of naive and gullible and things like that, because I've never been scammed in this way before. And I consider myself a smart person and somebody who can see through the BS, but being in a new place, and a lot of times California is very laid back. So I'm just like, man, he'll get it when he get it. But after the bearded one called him out and I started to ask him questions, I'm like, okay, it's a scam. I'm like, you scamming us. He was like, no, you want to meet in person? I'm like, no, I don't want to meet in person. Just give me my money back. He was like, all right, what's your Zelle information? I knew he wasn't going to send it back, but, we lost $75. But his ultimate scam was going to be to get us to pay for the deposit and the first month's rent, which was $2,400 altogether. So that's what he was after. So I looked at that as a $75 lesson. I spent $69 at Total Wine the other day, y'all. And I literally drank it and emptied it in the toilet. So a $75 lesson, not too expensive. I'll take it. So we're still looking. And then the bearded one comes across a nice, spacious apartment. I forgot the area. Once again, I'm not going to say it out loud, but it looked really nice. The price was affordable. And I called the guy, talked to the guy. He sounded good. People who are scammers and who do this for a living, it is their profession. They are great at it. They will talk to you as though they've been doing this for years. They sound very professional. Don't be fooled. Take it from me, but keep listening. I talked to him. He sends me over the application. I say, what's the application fee? Another red flag. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. No application fee. Most of the time, 9.9 times out of 10, you're going to have to pay an application fee because that's how they pay for the background check. That's how they pay for the background check, to see if you've been evicted, to see if you still owe balances to other properties. That's why you have to pay the $40 or $50. And I said, okay, well, maybe he doesn't need it. Maybe he's a private owner, because it was like a 4-suiter. It wasn't a multi-level, multi-unit apartment. It was like a 4-suiter. And I'm like, well, maybe he's the landlord. Maybe it's a private property, whatever. I fill out the application. I don't think they asked me for my ID either, but this application didn't look as fishy as the other one. Whatever. But another red flag that happened with this company was the very next day, 24 hours later, he's like, oh, you've been approved. This looks good. But another red flag was he sent the wrong name. My name is Ramona. He sent, hey, Elise, it looks like you're approved. So it was then I knew it was a scam. And I knew it was a scam also because he was like, you can Zelle the first month's rent. And I'm like, they don't do Zelle out here. So again, the application process was too quick, and they're asking for Zelle, and he called me the wrong name. So I responded back to him. I said, hey, Pete, and I think his fake name was Matthew. I'm like, hey, Pete, I'll Zelle you $5 million. How should I send it? So I guess he got offended with his little arrogant self because he knew he was caught. So he calls my phone. I put him on speaker so the bearded one can hear him. And he was like, yeah, you think your $1,600 was going to make me rich? I already scammed 60 people today. Or something like that. And he was like, yeah, Miss Superwoman. And so the bearded one was just like, just hang up on him. But y'all have to be careful out here. I know you hear this a lot, but if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Rent out here is going to run you at least $2,000 unless you're renting a room. If you're renting a room, you could probably get it for $1,500, maybe $800 depending. But if you are renting a full ass apartment, excuse my language, you are going to be paying at least $2,000. It's expensive to live in LA. And if you see anything that is less than that for a big, magnificent apartment in Los Angeles, run. Now in Texas, you can absolutely get a fantastic, beautiful 2-3 bedroom for $2,000. But that's not how it is in Los Angeles. You can expect to pay $2,000 for sometimes a studio. So that's red flag number one. If the price is too low, be very skeptical. If the price is too low, baby, you might have to go. Number two, if the application is not asking you for your proof of income, a proof of residency, and a proof of identity, run. They should always want to see how much money you make, because it's usually 2.5 times the rent. So if your rent is $1,000, they want to see 2.5 times that. So what's 1 times 2.5? If you're making $1,000, if your rent is $1,000, they want to see that you're making $2,500, I believe, if the math is mathing. But they want to see that you're bringing in 2.5 times the amount of the rent so that they know you can afford it. So they want your pay stubs. If you just got hired, they're going to want to see that offer letter. They're going to want to see your contracts or ways to prove that you can afford this space. They're going to want to see your ID, and they're going to want to know where you've lived before to make sure you don't have any old balances to previous properties. And they're going to want your information so that they can look and see if you have any evictions on your record. So they're always going to ask you for your ID and your proof of income, and ID, proof of income, and previous residences. If they don't ask for those things on the application, red flag. If there's no application fee, unless there's some type of special going on, red flag, run. And finally, if they ask you to send money through Zelle, run. Don't do it, because with Zelle, you are authorizing this payment from your account. They cannot prove that it's a scam. The police cannot help you. Your bank probably won't help you, because Zelle is like, you trust this person and I'm giving you cash out of my pocket. That's how Zelle is. You're going to be a done bun. Don't send these strange people any type of money, nothing, through Zelle. Do not send any money through Zelle. And that's how they're doing it. And it's very unfortunate, because it's so easy to get people in, especially in LA, because it's a lot of transplants out here. A lot of people come out here looking for the glitz and the glam and the Hollywood, and a lot of people have high hopes and dreams, and the cost of living is so high. So it's so easy for someone to take advantage of people, the hundreds of thousands of people who move to LA every single month, and they're looking for a place that's cheap. They're trying to find a cheat code, so they're looking for somewhere that's cheap, and they're looking to get in it fast. And that's how these scammers are taking advantage of people. And they tried it. They got me for $75, but I'm cool. But you weren't gonna give me for that $1,600, and you weren't gonna give me for that $2,400. So if I had to learn this $75 lesson to help somebody else avoid it, I'm cool with it. I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate it. But I think about the people who really are optimistic, and they really come out here looking for a new life and a new change, and they find this deal online, and they've saved up maybe $3,000 or $4,000, and they apply for the apartment, they send the money through Zelle, and they get scammed. And that's it. And they don't have any money or any more money. And that was all they had. And now what? And nobody can help you. You're not getting the money back. You're not getting a refund. Nobody's going to come save you. And the scammer is going to keep scamming more and more people and doing the same thing over and over and over. I was blessed to only lose $75. I was blessed to have a partner who I trust and who's very intuitive and said, nah, something ain't right. But everybody doesn't have that. Because if I didn't have him, I would have definitely gave that man $2,400 because I thought I was going to have a beautiful place in Santa Monica by the beach. So what I'm saying is, be careful. Be careful. Don't just send your money to anybody. Do your research. Be aware. People out here are really scamming. They are really scamming, and people are really losing everything because they put their trust in somebody or some system that is just unknown. Because I do believe most people are good people. I do believe that in a room full of maybe 1,000 people, majority of them are going to be good, but you gotta have those 5 or 6. You're going to have those 5 or 6 people who are just demonic and just the devil and just self-absorbed and don't care about anyone else. Maybe they've been hurt, or maybe they're just got a bad evil spirit about them, and they're going to try to get over on you. So please, if you are moving to Los Angeles, or if you are moving in Los Angeles, or you know someone who is in the process of wanting to move out here, tell them to be aware. 3 simple things. The application. If the application is too easy, if there's no application fee, if they're not asking for your proof of identity or your proof of income and there's no fee, don't do it. If they're asking you to send any money through Zelle, don't do it. And if you get approved overnight, don't do it. Don't do it. So check for the application, check for how they want you to send the money, and check for the speed of the approval process. Usually the approval process is going to take at least 3 to 5 business days. They are never going to ask you for Zelle, and the application is going to ask you who you are and how much money you make. Okay? So I want to share that with you. I hope you share this video with somebody who might be moving in LA or moving to LA. Be careful, because that $75 for me could have been $7,500 for somebody else. People don't care. They are selfish. They are greedy, and they don't care about taking from innocent people. So you have to be aware. The police are not going to help you. We filed a police report. The police said, nothing we can do about it. The apartment complex is not going to reimburse you. Actually, we found out that they had signs. The first apartment we went to, they had signs posted telling people about scams, but it just looked like another piece of literature. So we ignored it. And some people might say, y'all stupid, y'all should have read it. Okay. Imagine all the signs you pass every day. Imagine all the signs that you see that you kind of walk past every day. So this can happen to you. I didn't think it would happen to me. I'm grateful that it was just a small amount of money, but I feel so bad for the people who either have experienced this or unfortunately are gonna experience this, and it's for hundreds and thousands of dollars, y'all. The apartment complex is not gonna help you. The leasing agent is not gonna help you. The police are not gonna help you. Nobody is gonna help you if you find yourself in a scam. And it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So you have to be careful. That's all I have for y'all today. If you're still watching this video, drop a comment below with a time when you got scammed, or with a scam that we should all be aware of to look out for. Thank y'all so much. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will talk to y'all soon. Be careful, be safe.